Okay, here we are. It's InZoi's announcement is coming up. It's online showcase coming up in about 6 minutes and 45 seconds, which I'm super duper excited for. I'm waiting since last year. We did the character creation a little time ago. I want to say it was last August or September for about a week. I don't think I slept that entire week. I was so excited because InZoi has been the first, I think, life simulation game that could actually compete with The Sims. And then right after InZoi this year, I think Paralives is also coming out. So I'm really excited for all the different simulations coming out. I think another one was supposed to be coming out. I'm not sure if that's happening anymore. I can't remember. I think it was Life by You, it was called. I'm not sure if that project is still going. I don't know if they ran out of money or what, but I really haven't heard anything about it. But I'm really excited for InZoi. Character creation are really, really fun, and um, I'll probably show some of those different characters maybe over this overlay in this if I figure out how to do that, because I haven't edited a video in so long. So if I can figure that out, I'm showing you the characters right now. If not, forget about it. Forget I said anything. And I'm not as savvy as I hope to be. But yeah, so I'm very excited for this. So they took a lot of things into consideration, and I know like the Western players are really like saying, "Hey, we need this, we need that." I mean, in particular, I was really concerned about like the body shape, like the curviness wasn't possible, which sounds so like minuscule, but I'm just so used to seeing like voluptuous bodies in the States, and like you try to make someone like just a little bit like plumper and like maybe a small waist and round hips, and it was so like, I don't know what to call it. It looked like it was just like stick straight, and there's like no butt whatsoever. And there's boobs, but I mean, it just like the quality of it, of having lumps and bumps, was just not possible. So I'm hoping that was improved a lot, and we'll find out tomorrow once we get the early key in the drops today. So that's what's happening today, is we're going to be able to watch it, and whoever is in here watching live will get a key drop, and we'll be able to play tomorrow before everybody else. Everybody else has to wait until the 23rd, I believe. And then, yeah, the 23rd. And then I think that once that happens, then everyone, like, regardless, it's just open. Everyone can just play. So I'm going to play the shit out of it for the next 3 days. 2 or 3 days? 3 days. Just because I just want to get as much done as possible. And I just had a time with the character creator. It was so much fun. And this time we'll get to build. So I'm so excited for that. I'm beyond excited for that. Yeah, so I mean, let's just start with some of the things that went on. I mean, I didn't take notes on everything, but the first thing I thought was really important, obviously, is the price and the DLCs and what was going to be included in the game. And what's phenomenal about this is the game is going to implement so many things that, in my opinion, I hate to do the comparison because everyone's been doing comparisons for days, um, is a comparison of what Sims 3 had. Then when the Sims 4 came out, it was so pared back and so bare, beyond basic. It was you couldn't even get basic things like cars, and then like babies for, yeah. So I try my best not to curse because I can't curse up a storm. So I just found it really, really fascinating that that they decided to include all of these things in base game. Let's go over some of the things that they will be featuring in early access. In-game features are babies. I mentioned that. So that means like you'll have babies, you'll have interactions. And then I said something about babies won't last that long. It'll be very quick, which is fine. But I'm wondering if there's like a marker or a a time frame that you can change. Like maybe a baby is 2 days, maybe a baby can be 2 weeks if you want. So I guess we'll see that once we get the game. Or they said, if you have any more questions, go into the Discord and ask away, which I definitely will be in the Discord. Other things, seasons. I mean, that's so basic. That's such a basic thing. And to have seasons be like, oh, that's very fantastic. There's seasons in the game. Like, okay, but that just seems basic. It seems like why wouldn't, if it's a life sim, why wouldn't you want to implement as much life as possible? That being seasons in your environment. And continuing on with environments, you're able to influence the environment to either be super sunshiny, you can make it a rainy day, you can make it, and they didn't really cover it much of that. They just kind of like blew over it really quickly. But the last, when everyone had early access last year, when majority of people just had the character creator, they were going over some of the environmental changes that you can do. Like you can have it to be a really rundown city, which I'm definitely going to implement because since this is a sci-fi channel, like sci-fi is most of the games that I want to play, and of course InZoi doesn't fall under sci-fi, but I love simulation games, and if I can manipulate the world to be kind of a dystopia, I'm gonna make a cyberpunk world. I'm gonna put so many different decorations and that was the thing, the 3D. Oh my god, I don't want to get off track because I'm getting excited. But yeah, so you can manipulate the environment. And what I saw before in previous videos was that when it's dystopian, like the leaves on the trees go away, like it looks really run down, there's garbage, and things are dirty and kind of like dingy. And then, when it's sunshiny and happy and it's in its most beautiful setting, there's like full trees and, the colors are brighter and the trees are greener, and clothes aren't tattered. And it's a really clean city. So I love that you can change that sort of thing. I don't think anything like that's really been implemented in a simulation game without like mods. The fact that you can make something, like he basically said you can pick up a rock, paint it, and put it in a stall and sell it. Like, oh my god, like any opportunity to sell, to make money in the game is base level, like basic level. That's incredible. That already is gonna like kind of not necessarily push, business and hobbies just came out in Sims 4, and that includes making a brick and mortar store and selling in that way. But this, you can just like pop open a table. And I know that was implemented in Sims 4 already, where you can go to like the town market or something like that, town square or whatever, and set up a table or set up a table at your house, depending. But this is done in a way that is, kind of done in that similar way. We can just pop up a table. And it said you can have a stall. So I don't know if that means that that it's already a brick and mortar that's open, or if it's just going to be like a small table, like a tabling situation, which is fine. Which will be cool, because they were talking about jobs too, and they were talking about K-pop idols and if you can have concerts, and I totally was just like all in La La Land, and I was thinking about concerts and what that would look like, and I totally missed what they said, so I'll have to watch it back. But if it's possible to have like a concert and it's not just a cutscene, then you can like set up stalls for that idol's like merch, or things like that, or make a festival and have different stalls of different kinds of things. That would be so much fun. That's an incredible world that we can like create. Let me see. And then seasons, business, and cars. Cars are available. I mean, obviously, in the first one, in early access last year, we saw that you can get hit by a car, but you couldn't really drive a car. And I know in Reddit for sure, people are asking, can we like steal a car like GTA style? And they didn't really touch on that, but they did say that you'd be able to drive, and but you can't drive like guide it. You'll just have an auto drive. So I'm guessing you can't. You just click a location on the map and you just go there. And it just drives you there automatic, which is fine. It's kind of like the taxis in The Sims 3, I guess. And then when you have a car, you don't really like maneuver it in The Sims 3. You just, you go to you click your destination, you just get in and go. You can just follow along with the car. So that's cool. Um, and okay, so so this is something that a lot of people are going to be so super excited about. 16 different deaths. And if you are like an OG Sims player, then yes, you've done your due diligence in figuring out ways to kill your Sims. Whether they're in a pool and you took the ladder away, whether you just put them in a room and removed the doors, you set the house on fire, whatever you did to get them to die, it's possible. They said okay, so they were even saying like the weather is so influential to the InZois that if they are out in the rain for too long, they'll catch a cold and they could possibly die from their cold. And I'm like, what? So I'm guessing there's like maybe medicine or you can go to the doctor. It has to be because like if you just die from like being out in the rain too long, that's too easy, and that'll get frustrating. But I think that's so funny that you can get a cold and die. And it's kind of like real life a little bit. Not a cold, obviously, but if it's like more serious. And then another one was saying you can trip on something on the street and die. And I was like, oh my god. I hope it only includes if you like break your neck or something. If you just fall and scuff your knee and you're like dead. Like that'll be too much. Um, okay, let me see what else. Okay, so let's go on to like so that's like all the in-game features that are a base. They're a base that are going to be really great. So that's amazing. Going on to crime. So going with cars. I know people were talking about like GTA style. Can you steal a car? And they didn't specifically say if that was possible or not, but they did say that jail time is possible. So you can actively go to jail for something, which I find hilarious. But it's not going to just be like you're in jail for XYZ time and it cuts screen and then you get out. They said you can actually sit in jail. Like you can sleep in jail, you can eat in jail, and then you can have a jail break. So maybe there's going to be a death associated with the jailbreak. I don't know. But I think that's hilarious that you actually will be a player in jail if you get caught for your crime. Now, I don't know what the extent of crimes you can commit, but he definitely was like, you can go to jail. So I think that's really, really cool. I've never seen that before. And I think someone on, was it Discord that asked about, is either Discord or was with a Reddit AMA recently. Someone asked about hospitals, and I think they're going to make it possible for you to go into the hospital and walk around and things. Like it's going to be a building that you can actually interact with versus like other games where like The Sims where you're having a baby and you just go to the hospital and you come out like moments later. You get a notification like, oh, you had a baby, like you don't get to see it or anything. So that's gonna be cool. So I'm excited to see what that will be about. And I think they're also talking about majority of the buildings, not all of them, but majority of the buildings will be accessible. I believe. I mean, I could be misremembering that from a previous talk, but I think that's possible. But they did cover, oh, I didn't write this down. They did cover skyscrapers. That's right. There's some things that they're still working on that they're definitely not going to have for early access just yet. But they're working on skyscrapers. They're working on skyscrapers that can go 30 stories tall. That's incredible, especially if you can occupy multiple floors. Like if you can occupy all the floors, that's going to be incredible. Um, but he said right now, if you try to with the build that we have now, if we try to make a 30 floor building. You can, but it's going to make your game really laggy right now. So I think they're working on improving that and making sure that it's, doable by the time like the game comes out. Like the full launch comes out, which they didn't give a date for the full launch yet. He actually was like, "Oh, we're gonna wait until the players are happy." And in my mind, I'm just like, "You're gonna be waiting forever. Like, no one's ever gonna be happy, um, to the nth degree, and before you bring it out, like, I don't know. It's just it won't be perfect. People are gonna be upset about some things, so." They don't have any date set in stone for full launch. Honestly, I think they should just focus on like Christmas holiday time for the full launch and as it is, because I think what it is now, even though there's going to be it's beta and there's going to be some things that aren't perfect, like that's what that's what a game is. Like you just do DLCs and updates to fix it. Now, if it's to a point to where it's like Elder Scroll and there's constant like bugs and lags and horrible things, then okay, then I understand you're not ready. But from what I've seen so far, even what I've seen from last year, everything seemed pretty good. So I'm just hoping like the new updates they implemented for this early access that comes out tomorrow will be able to what do you call it? Well, yeah, we'll be able to oh, I lost my thought. Wait, what was I saying? Oh my god, it's gone. I don't know where it went. It's disappeared. The thought. um, okay, moving on. Wow. Let me see. Oh, so let's go into decorations. So apparently, and I think they said this last year too, they were talking about it, but you can scan in a 2D photo and make a 3D object with it. And that object can be wearable. Like I think in the video they made a witch's hat for a costume, and they built the 3D item in the game, in game. Like you didn't have to go out of the game into like a 3D renderer and import it back into the game. It was just within the game. You just import an image and sort of make your edits there, which I found fascinating because I've been like spinning my wheels thinking about how, The Sims, how their clothing items and how they're like, their the custom content is made in another program and rendered there and then brought into the game. And the fact that you don't have to do that just cuts out so much additional A, software, B, time and energy and frustrations and stress. So that's incredible. And they also said that you can have things that you can wear, you can place on you. You can also have things that you can sit on. And I wonder if that also goes for surfaces. Because listen, I have so many Pinterest boards that I created for so many different dream homes that I don't have. I would love to implement some of those furnitures into InZoi. I think oh my gosh, that'll be so beautiful. That would actually mean there wouldn't be a need for custom content, really, like a marketplace. But I'm sure, a marketplace will be needed anyway, because I don't think everyone will be putting the effort in to make those things. But I think that marketplace would be, yeah, I mean, I guess only if people will need it. Will need someone to create packs for them or packs of furniture for them or whatever. But how to make that process so much easier, making the content. Okay, let me see what else. Yeah, I'm just excited for that possibility and how well it can scan things in. Let me see. Oh, here's a big one, multiplayer. So they're talking about how a lot of people are asking about multiplayer, and the game creator was like, well, I only play multiplayer games, so obviously that's something that I wanted to put in there. But I don't think you can do it, be multiplayer like you would do in WoW, like have a crew together or anything like that. I think you can play with someone where you can have a conversation and but I think that's the extent of it, from what I understand. I'll have to rewatch it because I have to be honest. After like 30, 40 minutes, my brain started to shut off. But I had to really, really focus on listening to get the information. I was trying to take notes so I can stay focused and present, but I didn't do my best, I don't think. Let me see. Oh, the facial capture they had for the character creator last year, and this year they have it again. Still only on iPhone, not with Android at all. But they do have webcam capture, and you can use that on Mac or PC depending. And what I saw visually was that not only did it capture the face, but also capture the top half of the body. Like people were moving the top half of their body like a VTuber. So I'm like, that's really cool. And can I implement that outside of InZoi? Like I would really love to be able to do that. So yeah, so we're definitely gonna be flexing, trying to figure out how far we can push that limit. Oh, and character creator, I saw a lot of new things. I saw some new clothing pieces, and one thing that I didn't get a chance to do last year, I didn't really get a chance to dive into it because I was really just fascinated with the character creator itself. But Luna, please. But they had this clothing feature where if you have like a t-shirt, you can like change the sleeve on it, and you can make it crop, you can make it regular, long. I didn't really play with that too much. I think I just turned one t-shirt into a crop, but I didn't change the sleeves and I didn't do it to the pants. So I think there's a lot there that they can change the neckline from from like a square neck to a collar or something. So I think there's a lot there that you can play with that really makes the clothing versatile. And of course, a color wheel, and which makes it amazing. And then there's also going to be an AI option where you can say I want cow print, and then the cow print will get implemented onto the garment. It will make a pattern. But the only problem with making the patterns in InZoi AI is it doesn't make a repeatable pattern. You really have to, you might have to take that pattern, export it, and go into Photoshop and really make it repeatable. Otherwise, you're just gonna get you're just gonna get whatever pattern it is, and it's not gonna match up on the edges. That's the fashion designer in me being like, this is something that I need to make it look pristine and perfect. But I don't think it's something that's possible, unfortunately, um, without any like manipulation with another program outside of InZoi. But you can at least make up patterns, so it's still cool. And I saw new jewelry and definitely new accessories. They have a lot more hair accessories, which was great because I think they only had like 3 or 4 things, which is fine because they were just like, we just want you to test out the thing and tell us what you like about it, tell us what you don't like about it. So, yeah, so I was happy to see that. But then here's one thing. I don't think there are, and I'm trying to remember, I don't think there are tattoos in InZoi. But when they had influencers asking questions, some of them that were in Korea and in China as well used InZoi characters instead of like their self to ask the question. And one of the characters had a neck tattoo, and I'm just like, oh, is that just from did the creators just put their character together and gave them their neck tattoo, or are tattoos in the game? Because I don't think I saw it last time, and I'm hoping that's something that's added. Because I think you can, because if that's added, then you can probably use the AI tool to make any tattoo you want. But then I guess the placement is the next question. I really hope there's tattoos. Did I go over the cost? Yeah, so I guess last but not least, if I didn't say it already, the game is $39.99. Can you believe it? $40 and free DLCs. Free DLCs and updates. $40 is all you pay. And they're very, very specific about, we want people to play the game. We don't care to, continuously have our hands in people's pockets because we need to fix things, and I really appreciate I really appreciated hearing them say that, just because just from the fact that how volatile I've been feeling with The Sims 4. I even got The Sims 4 2 months ago, because it's free to play now. And I was like, let me just, because I've been hating on it so much since it came out, and I have nothing but hate for it. Because I even tried the character creator, which is cool when The Sims 4 came out. But then, like, when I was watching gameplay and people was playing it and doing the thing, it just looked so cartoony, and it just wasn't my vibe to go from a very detailed, very creative and explorative Sims 3 and just to have Sims 4 be the complete opposite. And in my heart of hearts, I knew it was going to be a money grab. And the horrible part too is that when the Sims 4 came out, what was it, $60, something like that? And then you still paid like $5 here, $10 there, $15, $20 there for DLCs. And I'm just like, I think someone did like a whole thing on it where they were showing how much money was actually paid for much money people that had The Sims 4 actually paid, and it was like in the thousands of dollars, I want to say. I mean, I didn't do the math, and I don't know all the packs that came out, so I don't want to say that like on record and be like, this is how much it was, because I'm just, it's hearsay at this point because I don't really remember, but just in passing, I remember just seeing like this astronomical cost, and I'm just like, are you serious? It was literally like at least a couple thousand, I think. But again, I'll check my sources and relook at that. But the fact that InZoi is like it's $40 and $40 only, always, forever. I was like, this is, you're already, Sims doesn't exist. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't exist anymore. Uh, it's done. It's out of the water, and I think it's smart that they were like, what, a few months ago they were like, Project Renee scrapping it, Sims 5, we're not working on Sims 5 anymore. I'm like, great, fantastic, goodbye, you're fired. I hate using that term now, dissociation. Yeah, so yeah, $40, free DLCs, free updates. And one thing that they did say that made me really happy was they said that there were brands that were reaching out to them and saying they wanted to, put like their cars in the game or their jewelry in the game. And the creator was saying that they hadn't thought about doing that just yet. I mean, it's in their mind on the list, but it's just they were just so focused on getting the game right and making sure the players are happy that they're like, once we have it to a good place, then we'll start thinking about the extras. So I was happy to hear that that wasn't something that was on the first on their mind, because I know, like with The Sims, if you're gonna get like, I don't know, a Diesel DLC, it's like, I'm sure Diesel is paying, the Sims people, and then the Sims people are now charging their, players. So it's like they get double money. What's the real benefit of that, So what I imagine, since it's $40 and nothing more, what I imagine is going to happen is that the brands will have to pay Crafton, the InZoi people, to continue funding their workers and things, and then the people that are playing it won't have to pay extra. I'm hoping that's how it will be implemented, because it's like, if they're already paid, why would they continuously try to siphon more money, out of people that just want to play, So I'm really hoping, and they had like this thing that said, players over profits, and I really hope that they uphold to that motto, because if they do, that's going to change the way games are made and the way people play games. It's just going to change everything. Maybe I'm just naive and that's been implemented before, and I'm just so frothy upset with The Sims that I think that The Sims has, pretty much set the standard, and I'm hoping that that's not the case, and I'm hoping more games will do this in this way and won't siphon from people that they are scrimping up whatever little money they have, just because that's what I'm doing. I'm scrimping up whatever little money that I have just to play the game, because it's an incredible piece of art that we get to interact with and manipulate and play with. And it's like, yes, I do believe in paying for that, but I also don't believe in being nickeled and dimed for it. So so that's the online showcase for InZoi. Because this is like still one of my first few videos. I don't know how to end this. I didn't work on a greeting or a exit strategy for how to end these videos. So I'm just gonna say, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you later.